All right, guys. Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening, good night, wherever you are. This time around, we're going to do the same as we did the past few weeks. The first hour will be technical. Right now, we got Klaus, we got Hank, and we got Jason. And what we're going to do is, if you looked at the title page for the stream. Oh, hey, Wayne.
Hey.
If you look at the title stream for the page, it says RHELCO, and everyone's like, who the hell's RHELCO? What do they have to do with anything? And what does that have to do with small engines? So I'm going to give the floor to Klaus, and you could explain that, Klaus.
Well, it looks like Kohler did a big reorg, as big companies do.
Kohler engines. I mean, Kohler Energy.
Kohler Energy, where Kohler Engines is part of Kohler Energy. Yeah. And they will be renamed RHELCO, spelled the way that it was in the thumbnail for tonight's stream. So I'm wondering if we're going to get a RHELCO Courage out soon. I don't know. But when you look through the documentation from the company, it doesn't say it. They may be called RHELCO that has Kohler engines in their portfolio. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting. I mean, times are changing. Bricks is still suffering badly. Kohler hasn't said much because they're a subdivision of something else, so it gets a little unclear. But
I found out too that I was at my dealer this morning, and they were saying MTD, even though they can get MTD parts, they're stopping making a lot of the older parts and just not making them anymore. Whereas they would make everything, Chinese, whatever, they would just make it. Not anymore. I tried to order a choke cable, and he said, although it's a valid part, he couldn't order it.
We've seen the same thing with bricks parts, right? Yeah, you used to be able to get that gasket for that 25-year-old something.
Yep.
It's being phased out. I mean, and it's being phased out so that the parts that isn't used regularly on a machine will be phased out first. So you'll end up with these scenarios in 5-6 years' time where you have to scrap an engine because that part is no longer available. Look at the tank for the 5-horse horizontal shaft.
Oh yeah, they're gold now.
Yeah, they are because they haven't been made by bricks for the last 3 years. It's a goner.
I'm surprised they never went plastic with that, to be honest.
Me too. But maybe it has something to do with vibration, but I don't know. But we'll see that more of that from bricks. I guarantee it, because running a big aftermarket parts organization is hideously expensive. Even though they make money, they have to tie up a lot of capex, a lot of capital investment.
Sure.
In those activities. So you're going to see less and less, and everybody's going to move to buy used, throw away, buy new. And I think Kohler is struggling too. We just haven't seen it. From my perspective here these days, nothing regular on the market other than steel push mowers run Kohler engines. It's either their own brand, Husqvarna brand, which is Lonsin. It's Briggs & Stratton, some extent on small ones, not so much on the big ones. Kawasaki is making a big comeback with Husqvarna these days here. But we don't see Kohlers at all. We don't see a lot of Briggs & Strattons. And I think it's a sign. So if they're remaking their name because they swapped something and somebody's got to put a stamp on it, I did it. It's called RHELCO now. Why are they going to keep that name on the machines? Well, you guys will be the first to know when you see them. But I think it's kind of interesting that you see such a shakeup within this industry, because it used to be solid. I mean, Briggs & Stratton stocks 10 years ago was good as gold. I mean, they were just chugging along.
It just scares me when I see private equity companies buying everything, not manufacturers, not investors, but private equity.
I know, but it scares me too, Kenny. But that's the way it goes. Yeah. That's not what happened with Kohler. Kohler they were part of something bigger, and now bigger has become closer, and apparently that's called RHELCO. If we're going to see a RHELCO Courage soon, I don't know. I hope they'll change that.
I would hope that they wouldn't want to lose the branding that they have with the name Kohler. You know.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. But
So
again,
what's
that was my pitch for today. I found out Wednesday. There was a press release from Kohler, and I think Kohler is a household name in the U.S., particularly, just like Briggs and Stratton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's things are changing. They really are. I mean, I think it's like everybody else with electric, with battery operated electric cars, battery operated lawn equipment. I don't think this has landed yet. I don't know what's going to be on top when they do. I hope it'll be something we can work with.
Yeah,
But yeah,
all right.
particular in parts. I mean,
true.
we all love a Briggs and
What are
Stratton, but if you can't get parts for it, it's worth nothing. You know?
Well, just a choke cable today, MTD choke cable, Cadet, $49. I'm like, it's a choke cable, and it's the kind that has tabs. It doesn't screw in.
Yeah, I know that MTD is a fairly big player in the States, and I don't know if it is in Canada too. But over here, MTD is bottom of the pile. That is the cheapest stuff you can get.
Well, now that Stanley owns them, though, remember they own like 6-7 different companies, so it's a big conglomerate. Troy Built and White and Boland's and
I mean Boland's and Troy Built new machinery. We don't see that over here, but MTD is sold at the bottom end of box stores here. It's the cheapest crap, and parts rate is hideously expensive, and it's not a good investment. But all right, cool. Okay, that was my pitch.
Jason, I know you're chomping at the bit, so why don't you tell us what you got there?
All right, so I'll start off with the last video because that's what you guys were talking about in the chat. So that Keyway, I edited out a lot. I went through 6 Keyways.
Wait, when you say Keyways, you mean 6 keys or?
Yep, keys. 6 keys, 6 keys. So my premise was my Milwaukee 3/8 impact, right, had enough torque to remove that bolt, no problem, right? So in my mind, shouldn't that have enough torque to put the bolt back down? So that was not the case. So I broke out the torque wrench, you guys seen in the video, and the key still snapped with the torque wrench.
Wait, the key snapped?
Yeah, the Keyway.
Yeah.
You know, the
Keyway. Flywheel. And it still sheared the key?
And it still sheared the key.
Let me help
80 or 86 foot pound. Hold on, let me finish. Fired up the compressor and put up my 1/2-inch impact that's rated for 1,500 foot-pounds. Now, let me tell you, I was my culo hole was going like this.
Yeah, I've cracked flywheels like that. Yeah.
So I wasn't afraid about cracking the flywheel. My biggest fear was stripping the actual crank itself. Yeah. So I said a prayer and I hit it with the 1/2-inch and it actually held. But what I observed when I was cranking it down, giving it the ugga-duggas, I heard the flywheel like, I can't use the word like snap, but you heard like, you know that sound like something seats itself, like a pop?
Yeah, was there like a piece of dirt maybe in there?
No, that thing was, you see that thing was clean as a whistle.
Yeah.
So, and I heard that pop and I stopped. And then the tractor runs beautifully, as you've seen at the end of that video. So I don't know, but I don't understand, but now I know.
What I do, Jason, on machines where, I mean, first of all, you're not supposed to torque it more than to spec.
Yeah, so I think what I found online, I forgot, it was anywhere 70 something to like 80 something torque to spec.
Yeah.
And the Keyway still
Snap.
broke.
Yeah.
And that's when I busted out the ugga-duggas, the big ugga-duggas.
I know. What I found in not as much in lawnmowers, but basically in chainsaws. That can happen in chainsaws. And it's a manufacturing defect. they don't merge correctly. So what I do when I have those where it becomes loose is that I put a little valve grinding paste on the axe on the main shaft and the
lap
flywheel,
it in. Yeah.
and I lap it in, and then I take it off, clean it real well, torque it to spec. I'm not saying it's the solution, but that has always worked for me. Once that's done, it's tight.
I've also found too on the Keyway itself. Is it a regular key or Woodruff?
Oh, Woodruff.
So it's a half moon.
No, I'm sorry. Regular key.
It's a regular key. Okay.
Regular key, but it's the same key as a regular lawnmower.
But what I found is
it's not a square stock key like you would see on like a pressure washer.
Yeah.
Like like for the pump or something. You know what I mean? Like it's not one of those type of keys.
But I found though that the Keyway itself, if there's any little burrs at the very top of the Keyway, not much, even a few thousandths, it'll prevent it from going down all the way, and you'll get that, like you said, when it crushes the burr. You know what I mean? Because I use deburr with a stone and make sure there's no burrs anywhere, because any little metal, couple thousandths, will gap it and keep it away. You know?
No, so it was perfect. As you guys seen, like I even resorted to putting the flywheel on, and lining it up, then sticking the Keyway, and then you don't have to watch the video, but if you watch me stick the video, I take like my pry bar and I push the Keyway further down, because you can only push it so much till it's flush. So I used my pry bar and I pushed it down a little bit further, deeper into the groove.
Yeah.
And it still broke. It just took the Ugga-Duggas. And the only thing,
I gotta ask, is that an aluminum Keyway or steel Keyway?
Whatever Briggs sends, I don't know. That I don't know.
That's aluminum then.
Yeah,
No,
so
that
the
should have
Briggs
been
OEM Keyway.
In a riding mower, that should have been a steel key in there.
Okay,
no,
so
not necessarily, Wayne. Not necessarily.
The only aluminum keys I thought were the Briggs, those ones with the little curved edges. I thought those were the only aluminum ones.
Yes.
And those are only on small engines. The bigger engines with cast iron flywheels, even the aluminum ones, have a steel Woodruff key.
Yeah, but it's still the Woodruff key is or whatever key.
You see, I thought
it has to be the weak point, right? That's the whole idea.
That's yes, correct.
So if it keeps breaking it, it's because you don't have enough friction between the tapered shaft and the flywheel.
Yeah. I don't think you had it down all the way at the beginning. I almost stroked out after the second key broke.
You stroked out? What about like after number 5 going on?
No,
6?
on your video you only showed 4.
Oh yeah, I only showed 4, but I'm saying I took out 6, and I'm running low on keys.
Yeah, because I usually buy key stock. I'll buy it by the foot.
Okay.
And I'll make my own. I just buy it by the foot.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
McMaster it's $4 a foot.
Yeah, no, I'll buy the 12-pack from Briggs. That's whatever, doesn't matter.
Now you got.
Now I'm down to 6.
Check it with a magnet to make sure you got steel keyways instead of aluminum.
I will say, if it's made for aluminum key, don't put a steel in there.
Oh,
you will break the crank.
Oh yeah, so that's like I was agreeing with you. Like I didn't know that there is steel and aluminum.
Yeah,
I always thought the Keyway from snow blowers and lawn mowers, it's aluminum, and it's supposed to shear on nature.
Yeah.
It's supposed
the rule of thumb is flywheel gets aluminum, PTO gets steel.
Okay.
Because the idea is that the heaviest mass, which is still the flywheel, is the one that's gonna let go.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not an exact science. It's just a rule of thumb. Aluminum on flywheel and steel on PTO. But I have seen people put anything from square nails to
all kinds
of weird.
Let's not talk about it. But yes,
I've seen in a pinch no Keyway red Loctite.
Okay.
I mean, and you know what? On a good day, that's not a bad solution.
As long as it stays.
If I've had a chainsaw in where the flywheel has been loose and it's been rubbing, I'll lap it, and I will also red Loctite it because it has taken some material off either the shaft or the aluminum flywheel. So you need as much friction in
When
the
you say rubbing, though, Klaus, do you mean rubbing on the coil, or what do you mean rubbing?
No, I mean, I'm sorry, lapping it in.
Yeah, because I know if you see it rubbing onto the coil, your crank bearings are gone. So.
Yeah. That's a different issue.
Jason, what do you got in the back there? Is that another technical question? What's the
this is you want to hear where I am at now, or the little bit of a backstory?
Well, what is it? Anyway, start out. What is it? A D series?
This is a John Deere D130 that using.
That's not the plastic rear end, is it?
No, metal.
Okay.
So, long story short, this will be giving away content.
This is a flipper, right? Flipper thing?
No, this is a repair that I didn't want to take in.
Okay.
And the guy brought it to the dealer, and the dealer says it needs more work than what it's worth. And he ended up calling me back and suckered me into picking up the tractor from the dealer. Long story short, they gave me the tractor back in pieces.
Yeah. It looks like it was garage, though. It looks clean, at least.
So this tractor has over 500 hours, which I find very hard to believe.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had to put the tractor back together using Jake's videos and Wayne's at When
you say put it back, you mean the engine or everything?
It had stuff disconnected, stuff unplugged.
Okay.
Stuff. When I got it, they had stuff on the seat and stuff in the holder. So I don't know what transpired between the customer.
Yeah, they
and
probably
the
charged
dealer.
an evaluation fee, I'm sure.
What happened between the customer and the dealer? They didn't put it back together.
Mm-hmm.
So I came after work with the truck, and stuff was like loose, but I didn't bring any tools with me. I didn't know stuff was going to be loose. I started to put the tractor like back together, and they were watching me. Like, they told me like, nope, you can't work on the tractor. And I'm like, I'm not working on anything. You just have stuff like disconnected. So when I load this up on the truck and drive it away, stuff isn't going to come flying out, and stuff's not going to be lost. And I'm not putting this stuff in my truck. Let me just, nothing.
Wow.
So I was like aggravated. So anyway, I put the tractor back together. A lot of stuff was unplugged, plugged it back in. I diagnosed a bad 4-prong relay.
Okay. The starter solenoid, yep.
Starter solenoid.
Mm-hmm.
Put a new starter solenoid on, tractor ran beautifully. So
what was his initial issue, though? What did he tell you was wrong initially?
So he told me that he got this tractor secondhand, non-running. He got it running. He lent it out to a friend. The friend dropped it back off, and it's not running anymore. And I said, yeah, I'm not interested. I'm just not, I don't do tractor repairs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just not interested. Forget it. Mm-hmm. So I gave him my buddy Brian's number, and he never called Brian. He ended up taking it to the dealer. Then he called me like freaking out. So it's like, you know what? I'll take a look at it. I can't make you any promises. So here we are now. So anyway, so I got the tractor running yesterday, and today's delivery day. So started up the tractor, drove it around, make sure everything was okay one more time.
And all you did was the solenoid. That's all you had to do, technically, right? Or not?
Besides slapping it back together, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So now today's delivery day. I'm like, all right, now I need to clean everything. Mm-hmm. So I took apart the engine cover, pressure washed everything, because like, this thing is like air cooled, so everything needs to be clean, which wasn't. Yeah. Go to start the tractor to crank it, cranks beautifully, and then the cranking just stops. Now I get nothing at the key switch. I got nothing. So now I go back to good old YouTube University, back to Jake's video, and battery is good. Battery test 100%. I check continuity between the negative wire and the frame.
That new solenoid you put in is grounded to the frame somehow?
So it's a 4-wire solenoid.
Yeah, which means it doesn't have to be, because it uses the fourth one for your safety switches. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
So I was watching his video and just going through the motion. So check the battery. Battery test good. Next thing you know, you check your ground. So your ground wire from here to the frame. I did a continuity test. Okay. That's good. I started basically at ground zero. Then I went to the positive wire, checked voltage from one end to the next. That's 12 volts. That is good. Fuse is good. If I jump the solenoid,
Yep.
the motor will turn, but it won't fire.
Okay.
So I pulled the relay. I bench tested it. I pulled the solenoid, bench tested it, and it's good as well.
What I would have done right then and there, if you crank but no start, I would have pulled off the kill wire to see if it'll start then.
The kill wire on the coils, correct?
Yeah.
So this is a V-twin, so there are two
there's a
wires.
diode in there and all that.
Yeah, so here. So I even have it off. And here. So if you're not seeing this, just let me know, because here are the kill wires, correct?
If you had both of them disconnected from kill, both coils disconnected,
yep, so here,
it still won't fire, huh?
And here, you see that? They're disconnected, correct?
Yeah. Jason.
And this is a John Deere. Yep, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Do you have a CDI on that thing?
A CDI?
I don't think there is on that one, no.
No, I don't see
There's a regulator rectifier, but no CDI.
Okay.
Yeah, here's your rectifier.
Okay.
It's a 3-wire rectifier.
But right now, without the coils connected, that should fire as long as it's getting fuel.
Okay,
it's a magneto engine. It should fire.
Right, so let me put you on the stand.
Just remember, you can't shut it down.
Yeah.
You have to choke it out to shut it off.
So
or pull it whatever.
Here is nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, you're going to jump it now on the solenoid to get it to crank, and it should fire because you have no grounds for the coils, so it should fire.
So I'm going to turn the keyway.
You do have fuel, right? You definitely have fuel and all.
Your brake on too? Is your brake on?
Yes,
it doesn't matter because the switches are disconnected.
Yeah. So here we go. The switches are disconnected, right? But I'm turning the key, and I'm getting nothing.
Yeah. All right.
So So you want me to jump the starter solenoid now?
Yeah. Because without anything on the coils, everything else being good, and fuel getting to it, it should start.
All right, you guys see? All right, you ready?
It's a bad safety switch.
But it's just my luck is I'm ready to freaking deliver this thing.
Choke it. Take the choke off. Choke off. Okay. So it's something in the kill circuit.
It's a bad safety switch, I guarantee.
Yeah, one of the safety switches or something in the safety circuit. So you're going to have to check the one on the PTO lever, the one on the pedal, and the one on the seat to make sure we see which one is wrong.
Okay, so now to check safety switches, if I understand,
and the way that you can prove that out, Jason, is on that solenoid that you have. Okay, the 2 tabs that you plug in the female connectors to. One tab is from the key switch to turn on the solenoid. The other one is providing the grounds from your 3 safety switches. Okay,
right.
So what you should do? Do you have a test light?
Yeah, I have a test light.
I was going to say, put your test light on the one tab on the solenoid, turn your key to the run position and see if it lights. If not, try the other one. Once you know the one that lights, it's the other one you're going to be dealing with, the one with the grounds. Now, it doesn't matter which one is which because either one can be the positive. There's no, which one. It doesn't matter which one because they both operate the solenoid.
Yeah.
But you have to find out why you're not getting the ground to that other post to give you your switch turning on.
So where I got lost in my diagnostic process, just referencing.
All right. In the meantime, Justin, you could plug in your coils again so you don't forget.
Okay. All right. So let's.
That way they're connected. So when we get to
he's checked that he's got 12 volts going to the solenoid.
Well, yeah. Well, with the test light, let's see if it even lights up on one of those.
Okay,
we get the 2 connectors going into the 4-post solenoid with the red or black.
I'm going to try and get you guys closer for the. Do you guys have a good view?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. All right. So test light to
one of you have the two posts.
Yep.
So go to one of the posts where the wires come in, not the big wire, the small wires.
Yeah.
Go to one of those and now hit the to on position to see if it glows.
All right. So it's on. So we got nothing. And nothing. So I have to swing. So I have to turn this key then.
You have to turn the key to the start position to
Okay,
see
so
if one of those posts, one of them should glow when you turn it to the on position.
Yeah, I wasn't hearing the solenoid clicking, so I don't think he's getting 12
Oh, no,
volts.
he's not getting ground from the safety switches.
Yeah.
But I want to
Yeah,
make
so-
sure he's getting positive on the other one from the starter switch.
All right. So here I have
And
my
I-
test light. I have my test light hooked up to ground.
Yeah.
And then here I am with the key switch turning it. And here I am, and I'm getting nothing.
All right. So
All right.
show
Can I
me.
say something?
Go ahead, Hank.
All right. I've
sorry.
had problems with the John Deere engagement for the belt, the handle there.
Oh, for the
Yeah.
blade engagement.
If you pull it back,
Yeah,
it would ignite. If I didn't pull it back, it wouldn't ignite.
you're
Well, you
right
can
on.
see-
Oh, yeah,
Henry.
yeah, yeah. So it's
See that
disengaged.
switch
Yeah.
underneath the dash. You could actually
Yeah.
see that switch
That
It's a
switch
gray-
is
gray
not
switch
making
with a-
contact.
with a pole on it. Yeah, you got the little shaft sticking out of the switch. You can see where it pushes down the switch, Jay, under there.
Yeah. Yep. That's
Is it pushing it down all the way when it's in the off position?
Yeah, so I'll even hold it here. I'll hold it by hand, but yes,
Yeah.
it's touching.
Yep.
All right, hold on. I only got one hand. Yeah, see, it's not. I'm holding this by hand.
Yep.
All
All right. So what you want to do now, Jay, is on your key switch. Okay. The S terminal for start. Put your test light into that wire. The S terminal for start.
All right, so S is purple. It looks like.
For the start. Put it in there.
Okay.
All right. Now you got your
Turn the
test light
key.
grounded, right? Your test light's grounded on the other end.
Yep. Now I got power. Can you
Okay,
see-
so
sorry. You see that? Can you
Yeah,
see that?
see-
It's lighting up.
Okay, so you are getting power from that. You're not now that wire purple should go to the positive on your 4-post solenoid, the one of those tabs. That's where it should
Okay,
go because that's what
so-
it provides
so you were
positive to that solenoid.
Yeah, so it's purple and white.
Okay, so when you
Okay.
turn the switch, you got light at the switch. You should have light at that little post on the solenoid.
No, I am not getting power.
So somewhere between that switch and where that wire goes to that solenoid, you got a break somewhere or a blown fuse. You have something. Is there a
Okay,
20
so-
amp fuse somewhere there that's blown?
Yeah, and that fuse test that good. It's right here. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, because that's the fuse for the starter circuit.
Okay. So purple wire from here.
All right, but do you have a multimeter, Jay?
Yes.
I want you to do a continuity test with the switch off. A continuity
Switch off.
test from each of those two tabs on the 4-post solenoid, those little tabs. Do a continuity test to a ground. I want to know which one is grounded.
Okay. So purple. And then can I do ground on the battery?
Yeah, you shouldn't get anything because that's the starter side.
Okay, I'm getting as far as like so here. So just
Put it on
continuity.
sound. You got it on continuity
Yep.
sound?
Can you hear it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So try it on the battery.
Okay. So now we have this purple wire, right?
Yep. And then if you go to the battery negative, you should get nothing.
I've got nothing.
Okay, so that's good. So that means that's your positive actuating side of the 4-post coil. So that side, all right, when you turn the key, that should be glowing on your light. Since it's not glowing, you got to trace that purple white wire back. Why isn't it getting power?
Do you guys think that Jason can afford all this support?
This is free content for you guys.
Jason,
This is-
if you want, hey, Jason, if you want to test my theory, okay, turn the switch to the on position, okay, and run a jumper wire, a small one, from that purple white tab to your positive battery just for a second. That'll tell you if your grounds are good. You got it in park? It's in park?
Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me go get where's my
If you
jumper?
jump that, that'll mean that the solenoid itself is good and something else in that positive line. Because at first we were thinking negative, but since you weren't getting any power to it, now we're thinking positive.
Weird,
So if you run a jumper line from your positive battery to that purple white wire on the solenoid tab, it should crank the engine.
Where'd
as
my
long as
jumper
he's
wire?
in the start position.
Yep. Now I'm just looking for my jumper wire that I had. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? I literally just had you. Jeez.
Hey, Bruce is here.
All right, hold on. Let me go. I don't know. I just had that jumper wire. All right, hold on.
Yeah, power probe is good too, Jay. Even if it's an aftermarket power probe, those are handy as hell.
All right, so I have a power probe, but I'm
Oh, do you?
afraid to use it because I
they're
don't want to
great,
blow
though.
anything.
Yeah,
All right, so
well,
I'll get the
a friend of
power
mine
probe.
blew up his Volkswagen with that.
Yeah,
He
so
lit his wiring on fire.
yeah, so I'm scared to use it, but if I have you guys under
No, but
supervision.
power probes are great. And Brandon, congratulations on your certification, Brandon. Oh, Bruce's face. Hold on.
Yes, I have a power probe.
There's Bruce. Bruce, we're trying to figure out what's going on with his 4-post solenoid, why he's not getting fired.
Yeah. Has he got something heavy on the seat?
You don't need that if the brake's on.
Right. Thank you.
But he wasn't getting 12 volts to the tab on the 4-post solenoid. Something's not giving, but he's getting it at the key switch to that wire.
Yeah, so it might not be getting through the key switch.
Yeah. Well, it's the switch is good and it's giving it, but by the time it gets down to the solenoid, the purple white wire, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I want him to jump that to the battery, that little tab.
That's dangerous.
Solenoid.
I have a power probe. I haven't used it in such a long time. Hold on, you can take me off while I find my power.
Somebody's at my door. Give me a minute, guys. I'll be right back.
Oh, this is terrible. Where is my power?
In your pocket.
Yeah, I know, right? It's one of those tools that I have, but I don't use often because I don't. Well, I know how to use it, but I'm afraid to hit power to something and blow something.
Yeah, the fuse would blow.
Well, you know what? So on the trucks that I work on.
Yeah, but he wants to go from the battery.
Yeah. On the trucks that I work on, there's no more fuses. It's hooked up to the computer. I forgot what system they call it. But instead of like a fuse or a relay telling a light to turn on, the computer triggers the light to go on.
So right now, did you find a jumper?
No, I'm looking. Where is my power?
Coat hanger, anything, chain, anything.
All right.
Your tongue.
I'm going to go make a jumper. Forget this. I can't believe this.
That's why I have my little, I have an electric case that I use for all my, I have jumpers and fuses and this and that, and then multiple on the case.
I got 10 jumpers hanging on a hook on my white peg
I was
wall.
going to say.
Yeah, no, this is embarrassing.
Even a coat hanger doesn't matter. Anyway.
Coat hanger.
I've used that. I've used coat hangers.
Yeah,
Oh, there's
50,
my jumper.
50 amp.
All right. So
if you put that on the pot, hold the other end so you don't ground it, put it on the positive battery, and then just momentarily touch that purple white where it plugs into the tab on the solenoid, the purple white wire, just momentarily.
Yeah, just to energize the solenoid. It's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, there you go. So your solenoid's good, Jay. You just don't have 12 volts going to that. You got to find out where it's losing that 12 volts.
Look for fuses. There might be more hidden.
Yeah, usually there's more than one. Usually that fuse is a 10 amp.
This is supposed to be a 10 amp?
Well, 20 amp is usually like
bigger,
for everything. But I thought there was a 10 amp too.
Let me check my other tractors. Hold on to see what.
Yeah.
I know.
I think normally they're 15 to 20.
Yeah. So we know the safety switches are working. Okay. All we did was
that
12 volts that should be coming from the starter switch, and manually doing it from the battery is working. So it's from the starter switch. We know it's good at the switch, but from
Are you sure it's good at the switch though?
Yeah, he put the lead on the switch, turned it to start and it glowed.
Okay.
So, but from that wire, you got to trace it. Where does that thing go? That's what's not doing it.
So do you think he's just got a bad ground on the solenoid?
No. It worked good. He just jumped it. The ground worked.
Yeah.
He's saying it's a power issue.
Yeah, because when you put that 12 volt onto that purple white wire tab, if your ground wasn't good from your safety switches,
it wouldn't operate. It wouldn't close.
So your safeties are working. It's just you're not getting 12 volts from that key switch all the way to that tab where the wire is.
All right. So
Do
the
this,
purple
Jason.
one,
If
yeah,
you unplug the wire, that purple white wire at the solenoid, put your test light into that connector and start jiggling wires as they go back to the starter switch.
Yeah, one could be pulled out of the pin.
Yeah, one could be screwed up. It's definitely that's the issue.
okay.
Can you put the testing probe into the output of the connector that plugs into the switch, where all those 10 wires are? Go back down inside from the other side.
Yeah, and then that way you'll tell, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can still-
Do it. Jason, do a continuity test.
On that same.
Take this plug out of the switch, the starter switch. No, the starter switch. The big plug in the starter switch.
Oh, I'd leave it
Unplug
on.
The one that says S, match it up with
Yes.
the one that said S. Put your continuity tester one lead in the S one, and then the other to the other end of that purple wire. You got to make.
Okay.
You want to find why it's not continuous.
Okay. There.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, either end. That's good.
Nothing, right?
no, nothing.
Yeah. So
let's
you have to
just-
find
let's just
out
double
why.
check.
Where
There we go.
in that is it broken or is it not working? So just trace that white and purple to wherever it goes and see if
Yeah.
there's a break or a split or
You might have to stand on your head and hold your lips right.
and chew bubble gum and rub your belly.
Yeah, so here's the, well, I'm partially colorblind. That's purple and white. There's a
Start
part
at the
here.
connector.
Sometimes there's a white connector to it if you don't push it fully together down there.
Okay, so here's purple and white at this connector. So let me just,
Test it there.
And
so
make sure
we're gonna,
that's
so
plugged
can
in.
we test, I disconnected it so it's easier for us to look.
Yeah.
So
Make-
can I do a continuity?
Yeah, you can
test?
do it from the solenoid to that switch and then from that
Oh my
connector
God, look
back
at
to
this.
the
So
switch.
there's purple. Okay, so purple, white. Right? Purple.
If that's disconnected, that may be your issue.
No. I disconnected it for you guys. So I can run a continuity test from purple, white to.
to the solenoid
this.
purple white.
Okay, you heard that?
Okay, so from there to the solenoid, that's good. Now go on the other side. From the other side of that connector up to the starter switch. Okay?
Okay, so now we're going to go from the chassis. Hold on.
Yeah,
Let
from
me
the
get you
chassis
guys
plug
close.
up to the starter switch.
Okay,
'Cause
so
now it seems
this,
like that's the smoking gun.
this is the switch I disconnected and we have continuity.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one I need to test continuity from, correct? You see
Yeah, the
that?
one that plugged into, the white and purple. Plug that
Okay.
and then go back
Mm.
to the key
Do a
switch.
visual too, Jason, just to make sure none of those little Molex connectors are pushed out.
Yeah, sometimes the pins get pushed out and you just don't have a good connection. You think you do.
Okay. So
Can you look in the end of that Molex connector and see all of the pins? They're all the same amount recessed. There's no
yes, they look
back.
the same.
Okay.
One
Just a thought.
looks
Yeah, well, I've seen it. Yeah, they
Hold
push
on,
back
can
when
you
the
guys see
tab
this?
breaks.
one looks a little burnt, maybe.
Okay.
Can you guys see this? Can you guys see that? Do you see
Yeah.
this one right here? Does that one look, is the camera picking up that it looks different?
Your hands there. Yeah.
Negative.
Oh, okay, hold on.
What wire is that one on that's burnt? You sure? What wire is it?
That is, it looks purple.
Oh,
Hold on,
Lordy.
can you see now?
Yes, it does look a little. It might just be
You
dirty.
see that?
Can you clean
That's
that
It
up?
might just be dirty
see
and you
the
got
tab
so
break?
much resistance, it's not making a good connection.
Okay.
Carb cleaner. Dip the whole tractor in
But
carb cleaner.
check that though with your
Bruce.
that continuity to the key switch plug S to see if they're connected. You may have to jiggle
I'm gonna
it
go
in
heat
there
up a
because of the burning or the
Okay, so now do I do, so I hook up my multimeter to that purple white.
to that purple one, and then the switch connector that plugs into your ignition switch, that where the S would go, to see if that's continuity.
Okay. I've got nothing.
Okay, jiggle the one that's burnt. Jiggle the multimeter thing in that where it's burnt.
So the one that's burnt,
Yep.
or looks like it's burnt, that color wire is purple, not purple white.
Well, no, sometimes purple white. Sometimes they mean. I'm going to look up the wiring type. That's a D130.
Yes.
I'm gonna look at the
Yeah,
wire.
that's it.
It's still warm. It tastes okay in the microwave.
Oh, you know what? I could pull this out. Hold on one second. Okay. Let's pull this out. And we can
Glad you
get a
joined
better...
us today, Jason. You're gonna make a hell of a stream for us.
You got that right. Free content. Oh, you know what? I gotta take off for you guys. I gotta take off this bolt. Hold on one second.
All right, I'm looking at the wiring diagram. Hold on.
All right, hold on one second.
He's not going to be too happy when he gets the invoice.
See
Oh,
that?
Jesus. Yeah, so you know what? I want a cut of everybody's YouTube revenue paycheck. because
Free
this is
T-shirts
free
for everybody,
advertising.
right, Jason?
Well, here's this. So we've been struggling to find a logo for our whatever you want to call it. Because, well, Ken looks up the wiring diagram, and we want to keep this technical, but while he looks up. So we're using eBay as a platform to sell a lot of our stuff. And the issue is eBay does not protect us as a seller in the sense that, let's say you get a product from us and you want to return it, and then you send us back a box of rocks.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
Now eBay will say, well, we don't know who put the box of rocks in. Sorry, you lose the case, the person gets their money, and they tell you it's the cost of doing business. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. So my whole premise is I want to get rid of eBay and do our own website, but I need a logo, and we're struggling for a logo. That's that. Anyway, so well, Ken looks up the wiring diagram. All right, now that we have a better view, I'm going to take you guys off. Hold on one second. Here, you guys got to use your words. Can you guys see the connector?
Well, I was gone.
Wait, you're gone? Hold on.
I'm here.
I see one that looks burnt.
Okay,
Top
so
right,
this one
top
looks
right.
burned, right? Top
All
right.
right, Jason, a little higher. We can't see it.
Oh, sorry.
A little more. A little more.
Yes, at the top of the screen.
Top right one, yeah.
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 There we go.
It looks full of crud.
Okay. So that wire, top right, is
Just
straight
white.
purple.
Well, it's white purple, isn't it?
See, for
Yeah.
some reason, the D130 that I'm looking at showing the diagram has an orange with a white stripe going to the solenoid. Yours is purple.
Oh, that's John Deere documentation for you right there.
Yeah.
So here
That's why
is
they
the
moved to Mexico.
Hold on.
Here's
Exactly.
the purple.
Can you
wire.
take a cleaner and squirt it in there?
Yes, I have electrical cleaner.
Yeah, that, and put a little dielectric grease on it and plug it back together.
Bada boom, bada bing there.
Yeah. And then we need to move on.
That was fun.
Yeah.
came
Yeah,
at
I
the-
know. Right?
I came at the climax.
Oh, Bruce, your timing has always been perfect, right?
All right, so here, no plug. This is just showing
Yeah.
that we're using cleaner.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, hell, WD-40 will do it.
Is that working? Anything will work.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is it.
this is it, right? I know this is. But the thing is, what throws me off is that I had this tractor.
Bruce, stop! You're scaring me.
That this tractor was running great, and then I go to deliver it, and then it dies trying to put it into the truck.
Well,
Why?
well,
That's
That's electric.
That's the way it works.
that's the
Why
way
me?
it goes. Yeah.
And I didn't even want to work on this. That's the other problem. I said no, it's here, and it's here. Okay, so let's. Here we go.
Blow.
This
come
is
on.
PG.
There you go.
You can't see this.
Jason, you gotta stop and then blow.
I kind of like it.
If you want to see me blow, $9.99 a month, I'll give you the link to my OnlyFans.
Oh.
All right.
Did it help?
I don't know. All right, so now we're gonna take
Now you need bifocals.
the purple white, right?
Yep.
To this purple white. We've got nothing. So this harness here, correct?
That's
Come
one
on,
going
Mr.
up to the key switch.
This is I guess you guys would call this maybe like the chassis harness, because this,
I'm telling you, it's a safety switch. I'm telling you.
Because remember, there's a 2-plug harness that goes to your PTO. Don't confuse them.
hold on, I'm going to disconnect. I want to see something.
Yeah, trace that little harness
Wayne,
underneath.
Wayne is getting the money call.
No,
Yeah,
it's not me.
the PTO uses a purple wire too.
So you're not making money, Wayne? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we're
I'm
doing
trying to
all
find the
right.
correct diagram.
So here we go. I'm pressing the brake pedal switch and it's nothing. But let's see, from what you guys are telling me, hold on.
Well, no, those
disconnect-
switches work, Jason. No, Jason, by jumping it, we confirmed your safety with the 12 volt from your battery. We eliminated the safety switches. They're good. It's getting 12 volts to that one other terminal on the solenoid that's not getting 12 volt.
Right.
Can you explain that to me one more time? I'm sorry.
You can here you got. Hold on, look at me. Hold on, wait a minute.
Oh
You
no,
got-
yeah, I'm just I'm
No, but here's your. Hold on. Wait a minute. Here, all right. Oh, hold on. Here's your solenoid. You got the big lead coming in from this side. Another big lead coming in from this side, going to your starter. Okay.
yeah, the two fat ones.
Then you got a tab here, and a tab here. One
Correct.
tab is your grounds from your safety switches.
Correct.
We proved that's good. Don't touch it. The other one's got your purple white wire on it
Correct.
that you said is not getting 12 volts.
Correct.
So we have to say, okay, from the key switch all the way down to there, why aren't you getting 12 volts? So we're process of elimination, the wires that go from that little post on the solenoid all the way back to the key switch. Where is there a break? Where is it not getting?
We found it on the upper side, but we didn't find it on the lower side.
Correct. It's
not
at
getting
the
through.
switch. All right. And you have continuity in the small harness going from the mid harness to the solenoid, so that other switch harness from the switch to the mid harness connector. That's where something is not connected.
Okay, so we're losing continuity.
From the switch,
Purple, white.
from the switch to that little connector that
Well,
connects to the solenoid.
There's a
That,
connector in
that
between.
you said is good. So that first harness from the starter switch down to that other connector, you're losing it somewhere.
Yeah. So
Did
from
we test
here,
that the switch
hold
was
on.
good?
Yeah, switch is good.
Yeah. So from here to here is good, right?
Yeah.
This is, but now we're not getting
You're
continuity
going
from
through
this.
that lower connector.
I guess this is the body harness. I don't know what this is called.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it's called.
This is where we're not. If I hook up my multimeter to this, we're not getting.
And that would go to the solenoid.
Yeah. So here.
Yeah,
to-
that little harness that goes to the solenoid you said was good. That part of the wiring was good. But
Mm.
where it plugs in and goes up to the key switch, that
I
2
disagree.
feet, that's not good.
No. Where it goes from the key
Mhm.
switch is good. Hold on one second.
That's right. We
Here's,
checked that.
yeah, we checked it. So we're gonna go purple.
I thought it was the other way around.
No, purple. Here, we'll do this. We'll start all over again.
Yeah.
Purple
Do the upper one.
to the. Where'd you go? Purple.
Are you going to the
Just-
solenoid now or the key switch?
The connector to the key switch.
Oh, because you know what? I have to put power. I have to put power to this, right?
No. You
Well,
just
if you
check
use
the
a
continuity.
meter, no.
Yes, I got nothing. But this is purple. There is no purple white.
Grasapa.
You see that? Nothing. But the S, purple.
Yeah.
to
Did
purple
you
white.
clean out that one connector though, Jay? Remember we were talking about the schmutz in there? Did you clean that all out?
Yeah, I cleaned that out. Yeah.
Schmutz.
All right, so let me
Plug it back together just to
Do
see.
you want to try pushing everything back together again and trying it again?
There's an echo.
Sure, I got nothing to lose.
What?
Echo's a good product, Bruce.
Yeah, they are. I can't afford them.
Okay, let's do a key switch. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Come on, making me look bad.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Fire in the hole. Oh, hold on. I get that right.
They cleaned that connector, right?
Yeah, nothing.
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 That was a worth a shot.
And then
And
here
brake-
is this is a
brake is in-
working key switch. I know for sure.
Brake is engaged, right? Just checking.
Oh wait a minute! No, you know what? I disconnected the brake to push it by hand. I'm sorry. You're right. Hold on. Let's try it one more time. This is it. Yeah, I know, right? Don't tease me. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
And the brake and the parking brake is engaged.
Yeah. Go sit on the seat just for good measure, Jason. Go sit on the seat.
Sit on the seat. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's.
And press on the brake pedal just in case.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot where the
Yeah,
brake
parking
pedal has
brake
to go like a
There you
quarter inch further.
Yeah. So I tried. All right. So pushing it. Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Good point. Good thought though.
And jiggle the PTO lever.
Yeah, pull on it. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Come on, Jason, jiggle it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
nothing.
he had the safeties were good. We proved that out. The safeties were good. It's
Yeah.
just he wasn't getting 12 volt
To the
somewhere
solenoid.
from the starter switch to that connector.
So what are we left with? Ignition switch?
No, the ignition
No.
switch is that harness that goes the
He's
first
getting-
harness from the switch to the other connector. That isn't continuous. So there's a break somewhere in there.
I don't know if he's getting voltage to the wire coming out of the connector on the back of the key switch.
Yeah, he is. We put the meter on that. Yeah, we put the light, the test light on. It's glowing.
On the S, correct?
On the output of the S though, through that
Yeah.
black connector.
Yeah. Or Jason, if you want, you could put your test
Poor
meter
guy.
on that to see if you're getting 12 volts or like 4 volts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Because if
good.
the switch is all cruddied up, resistance, it could be
Oh.
very, very low voltage.
Resistance is
Even
Oh,
just because it test light lights doesn't mean you got 12 volts.
All right, you see this?
Also, there's
Just
a
so you know, from
wire
S.
that goes in the transmission too.
Yeah, that's a safety. Yes. There's a safety there.
No, right on the transmission itself.
Yeah, but we proved by jumping the positive tab on the solenoid that all those safeties are good. It cranked. It ran.
Yeah, but the transmission one isn't a safety. It's just for a reverse. To
Oh,
run
that's
the
for that.
reverse.
Yeah, that reverse button.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me just make sure. We'll just try. Oh!
Hey!
Oh, what'd you do?
that'll
What'd
be
you do?
that'll be $500.
What did you do?
Hold on 1 second.
Handle.
Hold on.
What'd you jiggle?
Watch your headphones. I'm gonna try and start the tractor. So beware. You've been
Yeah,
warned.
but it's
Didn't
only
you
1 out
jiggle?
of 5. You got to do 10 out of 10.
Choke it.
What'd you do?
I think he wiggled the blade.
Did you wiggle the
engagement.
jiggle?
Okay. Wait. Hold on. You want to know what I did?
Did you? What'd you
Hold on.
wiggle?
You said who mentioned the reverse?
Henry.
Hey.
Henry.
What, did you have that button depressed?
No, I just jiggled the button like this.
Ah.
Oh crap! Did Henry win again?
No, but why?
Good one,
But
Hank.
how does that?
Because that's part of the kill circuit too.
Yeah.
It allows you to mow in reverse. It is connected to those grounds. And if it has a little dirt in it or something and needed to be jiggled, it was grounding.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
And
allow
Jake-
it to work.
Jake's
You know, this
actually
is a-
had to replace a couple of those in the
Yeah.
last couple of years.
So I've only had to replace one of these, and the only reason why I had to replace one is
So Hank, you're not a worthless piece of shit. Okay.
oh, we can curse. F this.
Throw me down in the
John
basement.
Deere. F this John Deere.
Envy is a
FOL.
bad feeling.
To make a
Envy
long
is
story short,
bad
a
feeling.
guy who I bought the tractor from, he didn't want to press this button no more.
Yeah.
He glued the switch permanently depressed
Oh my
down.
God. How come you didn't mention that to us?
No,
This
not
tractor?
this tractor.
Oh,
a
okay.
different
Another
one.
one.
A different
Oh,
one.
okay. All right.
So I tried taking off the glue and I had to just order a new one.
Jeez.
What the?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that, Hank, because I figure with the starting and all that stuff, but you're right.
It
So,
never crossed my mind.
yeah, it's part of the kill circuitry. It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's 5 of those little
So-
buggers.
It never crossed
What?
my mind. And like from your live streams and talking to
But
you guys,
that's part of the live circuit, not the ground. That's
Right.
why we were able to jump it. That reverse switch kills live. Yeah.
So the thing is, like, talking to you guys and all this other stuff, but you guys say safety switches, safety switches, safety switches. When I got this tractor running, I check all the safety switches to make sure that they do work. And I was able to, you're going to see in the video, that it does mow in reverse.
But I tell you,
hit the
though,
button.
I would definitely do a video showing that little thing, jiggle it. And because people, like, we were pulling our hair out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Show the little
I mean,
thing and
I guess,
jiggle
but I
it.
mean, how about
Atta
this?
boy,
How
Hank.
about this? You guys take this,
Good man,
Why?
Henry.
clip it, and you guys create the video, and you guys take. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not.
No.
You're
I
still
got
not
enough
completely there.
content. You see me? I
That
got
could be an
enough
intermittent
content.
thing you've got there. Eh?
Got to wiggle the jiggle, you know?
Well, I hope I never see this tractor ever again.
Well,
Hey, at least you'll be. Well, no. While we're sitting here
yeah,
talking,
you gotta
put it all back together.
Yeah,
and
of course.
confirm that it still starts.
Yeah.
you have to do this 20 times.
How many
in a
times
row
have you
with
put
no
all the
fail-
covers back on? Then you go to deliver it and nothing.
Yeah, you have to do this 20 times in a row with no failures, Jason. Amazon,
You know, I always say I'm the expert of none, and my biggest weakness, no matter what, I'm very.
Who's that?
transparent.
UPS, FedEx? Who's that?
Amazon.
Amazon.
Ah,
You want to
So
say hi?
Jason,
hi?
basically you could charge the customer half of what that mower's worth because the repair company said it was worth more than the machine.
Yeah.
look at Brandon saying, "Bad boy mower, 5 relays." Yeah, good luck.
So, all right. So, if you guys want to go down this rabbit hole a little bit, because you guys do a lot more repairs than me, and I could say certain things now.
I forgot
Nobody
that
dox
they had one of those buttons.
Nobody call anybody because I live on an island, so it's very small here. I can't afford to get banned from other repair shops. So the repair shop that banned
He
me,
did already. That's how it shut off. He already plugged it in.
is out of business.
That's why
And-
they're out of business.
Yeah.
So he banned me from his shop because he was accusing me of taking his customers.
Oh yeah.
oh, that's business,
Now-
man.
He went out of business, and now I have his customers. And think of every foul language word you could think of. Those are the ones I'm getting. Or maybe I'm just being dramatic, and maybe the few that do are terrible compared to the other ones. I am having a very, very severe issue with customers lying about their machine
Oh, they never tell the
in
truth. ever.
order
They
to
never
get.
tell the truth.
Yeah.
But it's terrible. And did you guys watch that Toro video that I posted? Just a short little quick video.
There's 30 of them.
That lawnmower was on my channel a year ago. I sold that mower to this guy in almost brand new condition to that video. He reaches out to me about another lawnmower I have for sale. Okay. Guess what he shows up with? The
You
That
want-
same
lawnmower
one?
that I sold him. And he said, this thing is the biggest POS that you have ever sold me. It is one of the worst lawnmowers I have ever had. And his complaint was that it cuts like crap. So
Blade is backwards.
the blade was on backwards, and he cracked the rear deck baffle. I did not sell you the lawnmower that way. I did not. So now we're arguing because I don't install blades upside down. There's no way. I mean,
Especially on a Toro, it's
possible.
curved. It's curved.
Well, you know what? It can only go. It can go any way. But I would never sell one upside down. Number two,
We got the upper
because the missus runs the parts department, and you taught her about the baffle in the rear and the trailing flap. Now the missus, if I take in a lawnmower on her own, she will go and check to see if it's missing or cracked.
Yeah,
if
usually the
it's
whole
missing-
center of it's gone. Yeah.
If it's missing or cracked, she will order the parts and make sure I install them before the lawnmower is released, especially on a flip. I've been flipping lawnmowers for more than I want to admit now. Now I feel old.
And that's like
Nobody-
$35 for those. They're not cheap.
Because we
Well-
buy them in bulk and we sell them, so it's a little bit cheaper. But the point is that it's not a big deal before.
Yeah.
You brought it up, and now it's a big deal on every lawnmower we sell. So I know that I would never sell it with the cracked frame because of her. She would never let it leave she would never let it leave here like that. So no.
One of the things we do here, Jason, is we've got pictures of everything we sell and everything we repair. So
Okay, so here's the other thing also. I'm not gonna say the word that like private. Like when we sell something, for the most part, it's not at the house anymore, unless it's a tractor, a pressure washer, something that we can't need. So I don't want this guy to know where I live. Because if he showed up a year later wanting his money back, what makes you think he's not? You know what I mean? It's out of control.
Hey, Donny Boy 73 had a really good video on how to handle this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
So,
you cover your ass.
Yeah.
So here's the other thing. I don't want to show this guy like, hey, I took a YouTube video a year ago and I'm not private about where I live, so you guys could easily sort this out, and he's going to be knocking on my door, and I don't want people knocking on my door. I got people knocking on my door as is. I don't need another one, So yeah, I'm having a really big issue with people like lying, and I'm having a lot of comebacks, and I'm starting to get aggravated because I'm not being nice anymore. I'm getting pretty much nasty, and it got to the point where I feel bad. I kind of told this lady, like, do you see the problem? You bring me a lawnmower not running. I fix it. I give it back to you running, and you bring it back a week or two later not running. Where is the equation? Because every time this happens, you bring it to me not running, I give it to you running, and you bring it back to me not running. So where is the break in the equation? It's you. And she doesn't feel it that way. And I really got unprofessional with her. I got really
no, but I mean, it's.
I mean, this problem today that you had, that's just the way shit.
Oh
goes.
yeah, no. This is. But I'm just talking in the past, and even with other people too. Like I'll do a tune-up, I'll fix a machine.
If people bring in a machine that has not been well maintained in its life, and you just inherited all those problems that comes along with that.
There you go.
You need to talk to the customer before you start working on it.
Yeah.
And to me, I say I have two things. I have 100-hour services and 300-hour services. And 300-hour services, I will replace whatever isn't working, and you will pay for it.
Yeah. So and I know you don't have to watch my channel, but do you guys remember I hit that guy with a $350 repair bill on his Honda push mower because I didn't want to work on it, and the guy said yes. I'm like, come on, and it still wasn't worth it. I dramatically increased the price, and he still said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
see,
because it used to belong to his dad.
No, but I mean, to be honest, I never do that, Jason. Never.
You never do what?
I never raised the price on a quote because I didn't want to work on it. Never. What I tell people is, here's how it's going to go. This machine has not been maintained over its life. This is going to cost you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the second I reach the value equal to the value of the machine, I will call you and have you come down and pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they come in here close, first thing I'll say is right off the bat, are you willing to spend $150 to $175 fixing this mower? It's not worth it.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised, Wayne, with you and I, because I think like your prices, I'm thinking of the word, like, I'm not going to use the word inflated, but the cost of a new machine, right, is a little bit higher or cost more than what a new machine would be here.
Yeah.
In the sense, like, all right, so here's the thing, right? This tractor brand new is $3,000 plus.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with that price or not, that's the way it is now.
Yeah.
So if you know that this is a fairly decent machine or whatever, let's say the motor blows and it's $1,500. Would you say, you know what, am I going to spend $3,000 on a new tractor that I might not be happy with? I know that it's not built the same anymore. Or am I going to spend $1,500 on this tractor that I know it cuts great. I know it operates great. I know it's like people will do that here. And that's the issue I'm having.
I got a rule of thumb from a Husqvarna tech once. It's been years since I got it, but he said if you go and buy a tractor at whatever it costs you, if you got to have to expect to spend at least that amount in maintenance over the next 10 years.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're behind. That means that the cost will come at some point. So if you haven't you've had it for, let's say, 7 years and you never really did anything to it, well, guess what? It's going to catch up with you. And this does not include operator error.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, to me, and like, I know it's different because we're working on it, but let's just say this tractor, to me, catastrophic failure on a tractor is two things. Well, three, but let's go two. The motor or the transmission.
Right.
The motor is 5 bolts. 5 bolts. Would you scrap a tractor over a used motor between 6 to a brand new one, you know, 1,500 to, would you scrap a tractor, or would you try and get something else inferior, like a new Craftsman?
I tell you what, Jason, if it was a repair for a customer, I wouldn't even put a used one on.
I would.
I know, Bruce, but I wouldn't, because if I find the motor, I will find for the customer. What if it's not good? What if it breaks down after 10 hours of running? So I will tell them a new engine costs this much. Do you want it fixed or not?
So I do use,
but I don't flip. But I don't. But I don't flip. I don't flip at all.
No. So I do use motors here for customers, but they know through and through that it's used as is, and you are taking a gamble. But I make sure that motor, before either I acquire it or they acquire it. But I'll be transparent. I have yet to put a big motor on. I'm talking about a motor for a pressure washer or a push lawnmower. If it had a tractor, I would tell people, think about buying this, and you have to go get it, and you pay for it. All the responsibility is not going to be on me, because I'll pay anywhere from like $50 to $100 for a motor, plop it on your machine for an extra $1.50.
But see, Jason, I live in a very small town, and 4 years ago, I replaced a Brix Intec on a Husqvarna riding mower. The guy brought the mower. The guy brought the new used engine. I swapped the engine out. You know, that's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. You're good to go. He comes back 2 weeks later. The engine has seized up. I said, okay, what do you want me to do? Yeah. Well, I thought you could kind of help me. So you can go find another engine. I'll put that one on.
Yeah.
And the thing is, in a small community, I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm the one who took money out of his wallet to fix his lawnmower, and now it's still not running.
Oh yeah, so I've had bad reviews posted about me, and people will notify me, and I'll jump in and I'll go toe to toe with them, and I'll post videos and pictures.
Here, you can go toe to toe all you want. You're the bad guy. I am the bad guy. So I tell people when they bring in mowers where they replaced an engine a couple of years ago, I say, I won't work on it. Have a good day.
Not even for service or anything? You won't?
No, nothing. I won't even touch it. Because they probably replace pulleys, so I'll have to buy 5 belts just to find the right one.
If it's a Frankenstein tractor, forget it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear.
Yeah. And when people bring their own engines, I said, no. I mean, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah. No,
I will replace it. I'll replace it with a new Brix engine or a new Honda clone engine, and then you get the paperwork and you have the warranty on the engine. I am not honoring that warranty. You have to do that.
Okay, so to tee off of not worrying about a Franken tractor or whatever, I'm going to be very broad, and you can realize that. If you watch my channel and maybe a few others, watch what type of tractor you will never see on this channel, because I am so afraid that I am going to get a tractor that passed through that under individual's hands. And because I'm not proficient in tractors, as you guys could see, I am going to be turned upside down and inside out.
Yeah.
Because that person is very talented and knowledgeable, and he is, that individual is misusing his proficiency in an incorrect manner. So someone like me, or the person who now buys that tractor, we don't know what the heck we're getting ourselves into once we start running into issues. And that will circle back to, like, you're talking about a nail in a keyway and all that stuff. Okay, that's fine for you. For you, your personal machine. Once you pass that machine on to somebody else like that, that is horrible. You are a terrible person. I'll leave it at that.
I always wonder, Jason, if the in the States, if the IRS watches these flipping YouTube channels and starts adding up all the money that they're selling equipment for and looking if it's been claimed on their taxes.
Right, so here's the other deal.
Zippo Varga and I talk about our hobby all the time.
They got 86,000 new agents, right, Hank?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so let's circle back to that. Okay, so as you guys know, like, YouTube/content creation is another form of entertainment, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so everything you watch on YouTube or everything you see in the movies, do you believe that to be true?
Nope.
No.
So what makes you think what you see on YouTube that I present for you to be true?
Because
I'm just asking.
Jason, because you tick that little box that it is when you upload your video.
Yeah, at the beginning.
Trust me.
All right, so then what about those, and we're just talking, what about those channels that do like pranks or like scenarios and things are staged?
Yeah.
So where's that truth button?
It doesn't
I'm
have
asking.
to go. No, I'm just saying, YouTube has made it so difficult not to show real stuff.
Yeah.
That if they catch you in this, they will ban you.
Yeah. Now, just for you guys in the States, what's happened here in Canada, Jake just filed his corporate taxes and had the accountant do the taxes. There's a new sheet that comes along that we have to sign. And what it is how much money did you generate online?
Yeah.
And from what site and everything. Not that we're being taxed on it right now, because we are through when the money goes into the corporation.
Right.
But now our Canadian government is looking at more taxes on online revenues from YouTube. That's what they're looking at.
I am liable for taxes on everything I make.
We're paying
revenue.
We're paying taxes on it, but right now I think what they're doing is generating a database on income that people are making from YouTube by making you file this extra paperwork.
Yeah.
So I don't know, we have an accountant, but at the end of the year, YouTube sends us, this paperwork and we have to submit it. So that's what basically, we do. We submit it to the accountant. So I don't know if we pay taxes up front or we pay taxes on the back end, but we submit everything.
Well, I know in the States
we've been audited twice.
I know in the States that the YouTube revenue is taxed at 28%.
Yeah,
because that's what they notified us, and we have to file special Canadian paperwork to exempt us from paying 28%, taken right off the top.
Yeah,
So
I'm actually tax exempt in the U.S. for my YouTube income, but when it comes here, it's 50.
I believe it is.
No kidding.
50%. Half.
It's called Europe. It's called Europe.
Yeah.
Okay, so then here's another example. So for us in the States, we're going to talk about like YouTube. So I live on Long Island. So there's Long Island and there's New York City. And if you work in the city, your paycheck gets automatically city taxed. But when you file your taxes, you get your city tax back because you don't live there. But you do pay a penalty or whatever you want to call it because you're getting money from the city. It's so messed up.
They're handling the money for you.
So just
But to bring it back to small engines.
No, but I mean, Jason, just to wrap up, is your tractor running now?
Yeah, so let's turn the key one more time. You guys seen it? Watch your earphones.
What's your profit on that machine?
0.
Now, did he have the button depressed when he was trying it before, and when he wiggled it, it unpressed the button?
I don't know. Apparently, but when you wiggle it, it
What
goes.
they're saying is
Just
that he
touch the
still,
reverse button. That was it. So,
yeah, did he still have the problem now? Like,
Try
That's
slipping it
right.
something.
yeah,
try then.
Yeah. Oh, so you all right? I see you unmuted, Bebop. Can you see it spinning?
Yep.
Yeah, it's moving. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
Jason,
we'll do a test ride. Go ahead.
so we've had a lady bring back a lawnmower 3 times, and every time she brought it back, it had water in the field.
So you said every time she brought it back, what happened?
There was water in the fuel.
Yeah. So that was the issue with
Oh,
me.
I've had those. Yeah.
And I told her, take your gas and put it in your car or bring it here. She didn't do that. She kept putting it in her lawnmower.
Yeah.
And I'll be transparent. Maybe I'll post the video. I got so fed up with her, and that was my breaking point. I come home from work, and the lawnmower's here. And I just had it out with her on the phone at work. I come home, and I didn't see, she said that she dumped the gas out. And I could smell gas on the lawnmower. I didn't think to wash the machine. So I pull start the lawnmower, and you can only guess what happened. Fire. The lawnmower caught on fire. And I have it all on camera. And you could see my body language that I was so, like, I didn't even move. Like, I just wanted this thing to burn to the ground. Unfortunately, that was not the case. But 5 times with her. And she's not the only one. There's other people. And the issue is, let's say I fix your lawnmower. I do a tune-up. I do a belt or something. The next thing that's wrong with it is my fault and my responsibility. In the sense that, like, oh, it was just here. How about this? It's like, okay, it was just here for an oil change. Okay. My sunroof doesn't work no more. That's your problem. What did you do? Or what did you miss while you were servicing? Like that this happened. Like, that's not how this works. And it's very difficult to educate a customer who was so hard-headed and adamant that they believe that the customer is right and it's supposed to be this way and nothing else. And that's not how it works. And I'm having a very, very hard time dealing with that and even trying to educate customers. And I've sent this lady pictures, videos. I haven't sent her the fire video, but I've sent her like, this is your gas. And it's just no reaction from her. And there's no reaction from other people too. And it's very, very difficult. So let's take it for a touch fit. With all my tools. All right.
He's wearing a microphone, right? Because he's got good audio.
Yeah.
Ready? Reverse. Okay, so let's engage the blades. Make sure there's let me just make sure there's nothing on the ground. Yeah. See my extension cord go up. All right. Oh. Okay.
Seems okay.
Yeah.
Now,
So
those,
just hit the
those
button.
D130s, are they the big box store lawnmowers?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes,
Affirmative.
So, according to the dealership, the transmissions on those specific units only last anywhere between 650 and 750 hours, and then they're
Yep.
pooched.
I got a question for the panel.
That
It's
was
tech-
the plastic ones.
Yeah.
That
I got
was
a
the
question.
plastic one?
I got a question for the panel. It's technical.
Go ahead.
Are you up for it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep.
If we exclude bad bearings,
If we what?
what is the main reason for belts running hot?
Wait, what is the main reason? What?
One
The
more
belt's
time.
running hot.
For belts running hot.
Slip it.
Misalignment.
Alignment. Yeah.
Too small of a belt.
Yeah, or slippage.
Or
I
the
would go
wrong
with-
belt or the wrong belt. Some of them
Yeah.
call for
Yeah.
wrong hitch, some of them call for covered.
Belt is OEM, so
Okay, so I would
Must
go
be a
with
John
slippage
Deere.
that the belt is stretched.
yeah.
Yeah, the
but-
belt's
but
loose,
not
it's
bearing.
slipping, you know.
And wait a minute. So for me, a lot of people don't clean their decks. So
Yeah.
if the deck is, so are you saying a non-clean deck is the same
No,
as
it's
bad
actually-
bearings?
No. It's actually a clean deck. The bearings are good.
So I would say the
but-
belt is stretched.
Yeah, but the belt is OEM, brand new.
No, but I'm saying it's stretched though. It's
Well, something's
it's
wrong.
worn. It's brand new.
And if you got a mulching plug on versus side discharge, you're going to see a big difference in the heat on a plug
I know-
too, on
I
a
know.
belt too.
I looked it up. 60 degrees is the maximum that they run at, and mine was hitting 70.
Do you
Yeah,
know
but
the
what's the
answer?
ambient temperature outside? If it's 110,
Yeah, but these were made at room temperature. The numbers from Husqvarna. I had a front mounted mower where the belt and then the pulleys were running way too hot.
What was
Way
it,
too
Klaus?
hot.
Please tell us.
It was the 70. It ran 70 degrees. I changed the bearings on. It has a middle pulley from the
Yeah.
engine. There's a middle pulley, and then another belt goes to the deck.
yeah.
And where the belt that goes to the deck hits, that turns 70 degrees hot.
A dry
Seven-
bearing.
I thought it was bearings, so I put a new spindle in. That reduced the temperature down to 62.
What kind of shape were the idlers in?
Well, that he said bearings. Bearings are in
That-
the pulleys. They're all in the pulleys.
The idlers are good. There's one idler on this belt, and it's
That's a
good.
good question.
Yeah, it's a good question, but it was good. I'm just thinking that something whacked.
But even
Uh,
70 cause honestly, 70 is 158 Fahrenheit. That's not that hot. I mean, it's hot.
No, that is too hot for a belt.
Yeah.
He's saying 6 degrees.
60,
60.
60, C, 60, 60 C.
He's talking Celsius.
The only thing I come up
60 is
with
140, 70 is 158. I mean,
140 is the maximum an OEM Husqvarna belt will run at without deteriorating.
yeah.
So you dropped 8 degrees with a new spindle.
Yes. And I'm still not quite sure because the customer wanted the machine back. So I gave it back to him. I said, you got an issue. But
Can you hear it?
no, there is nothing. I mean, and the thing engages and disengages just like it's supposed to. It's just running hot. What I think is that the guy had the deck is slightly rusted. And I think he bumped something so that the whole alignment is off a bit.
Right.
Well, that could be. That's
Well,
we
did you
said
check
that
the
right
level
there.
on the deck?
Sorry,
Did you check the blade level, like on the deck?
blade level looked fine. I even
yeah.
I have an angle iron that I put up just to
Yeah,
check.
yeah.
It looked okay, but it doesn't take much because
No.
a little bit down here,
Yeah.
and I think he bumped something on a rusty deck and the thing gave a bit. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I never got to fix it,
So what I do, I've only had to repair one deck and because I don't have a flat surface here, I brought it to work where I have a flat surface like a fabrication table, and I put the deck on the fabrication table, and I figured out where it was, and now you heat and beat it and bend it back as best as you can.
Yeah.
That's the only way I've determined a bent deck. And as preventative maintenance, I spent a stupid amount of time making reinforcement brackets for the spindles because the metal seemed like a little thin, only to go online and you could buy those same brackets for pennies on the dollar. I had no idea.
What I do in those scenarios, I flip the deck upside down, and then I have a laser leveler, but with a laser beam, and you just touch the highest point and see if there's any deviation. Yeah. And that's what I do. But I wasn't given the chance here because the guy wanted the machine back. So I gave it back to him and said, your belt is not going to last long, but it'll run today. It may run tomorrow, but then all bets are off. It's just that can it really be that if you have a pulley that is slightly off, that can generate that much heat?
I would say so, because remember, everything is cockeyed and now it's not smooth. You're putting it on an angle, and the belts are like a V groove. So now you're changing the pitch, and you have heat where there's a thermal transfer. So the temperature from one is moving to another. And you could actually, excessive heat, you're going to start smelling. And
I mean, this thing had just a hint of an odor after 10 minutes of running. Just a hint.
Yeah.
I've never, you know what? I'm impressed with this, Klaus, because I've never checked the belt temperature. So you know what? I think the next time we work on a rider, I'm going to check just to see what it is after it runs for a while.
But wait, neither have I, until I was running it, and then I just wanted to, because it came in for a belt change, right?
Yeah.
And I was, once I put the new belt on, I always do a test run down my own lawn and come back in the shop, and I was checking out, and I put my hand on the pulley, and it was like, whoa, what's that? What's that? You know, and I have those, that laser temperature thing.
Yeah.
It's at 72.
See, now I would expect something like that on, the MTDs where you engage the belt by dropping the deck down. I would expect a high buildup of temperature on that because it's throwing that belt on an angle where it's rubbing on the top of the pulley.
That was exactly what was in my mind. I said, that can't be right. A little bit of an angle can't be an issue.
No, it makes a big difference.
It does, but why doesn't the MTDs run hot then?
I don't know. I'd have to check on an MTD and see what. As a matter of fact, I don't know if the Sabre we've got out there, we just finished the Sabre, if it works that way. I don't think it does.
No.
I'll have to check. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's got a blade engagement.
Anywhere I can find documentation, it's very few. Husqvarna is one, and John Deere is another. And they say anything above 60 degrees C will deteriorate the belt.
Well, the worst thing we've seen happening recently is a lot of people are putting those gator blades, the heavier toothed gator blades on their mowers, and they're breaking their spindles.
Yeah.
And right when you go to order those blades, who? Oh, okay. But right as you read up on those blades, it tells you that you're supposed to use a heavy duty spindle when you install these blades. Guys, I got to go. I got a customer.
All righty, money.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know if this one's money. He's bringing back some stuff. He needs wheels. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Wayne, have a good day, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's one of those things that, man, people, and the funny thing is, and Bruce, you will relate to this. The machine is from 2018, and it's always been stored wet. I mean, it's been underground. It may have been covered, but underground. all powder coating underneath it is off.
Peeled.
It's rusty, it's flaky. The bearings are rusty on top because of puddles of water. It is just horrible.
2018. To me, that's a new machine.
Yes, to me too. But the thing is, I told the guy when he picked up, I said, you know what? Do you want some unsolicited advice? And he said, sure. Sell it.
Hey everybody, this is I figured I'd show the red fan off again. I haven't done it for a while.
Hold on, Randy. I'm not done.
There we go. He's good.
I told the guy that, you know what? Go get a new mower because this one is going to cost you too much in the future. Because it's everything. Every aluminum part is corroded. It's fine powder. Bearings on the wheels and bearings on these Husqvarna front riders, they never go bad. They never do. These are bad. They're a little creaky. And
Crunchy.
Yeah, crunchy. And it's the guy said, he looked at me and said, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yes, I am." I mean, yeah, you've been storing that thing. You had it since new. You've been storing it outside. It's a goner. You know, it's going to cost you. So go. This belt will last you, I don't know how long, but it will break because it's running too hot because you bumped the deck at some point and it got off alignment. Can't you fix that? Say, I can buy you a brand new deck, complete and all. That'll cost you this much, which is about more than half of the cost of the machine. And you still have to contend with all the stuff from storing it incorrectly. So I don't know. It's yeah. But he paid and he left, and I said, "Come back when you want an input on what to buy. I'll help you." You know.
Somebody's sound is breaking through.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Oh.
Thomas Andrew had a question there. I put a new fuel lines in on the Echo 210, and now it will not start.
I told him to flip them.
Yeah.
Make sure that your primer, your flush or whatever is
Primer.
working.
Make sure you didn't switch the primer from.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Make sure when you hit the bulb, it's going back into the tank, and you can see it squirting back.
Yeah.
I call it a rookie problem, and I still do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but Randy, if you want to turn on your air thing, turn it on. We'll watch it.
All
But because Randy uses a non-powered fan to test the velocity of his HVAC systems.
Cool.
So there you go. See, he's not powered at all. It's just the actual suction going from the return.
Must be a good fan. I'm a fan.
So, and if you ever seen Randy's channel, he's got like hours and hours and hours of.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of these.
So, anyway,
And
hope all is well, Randy.
it goes better with the AC than that's the furnace.
Oh, I can
Yeah,
imagine.
the AC is closer.
Well, you think there's more
How's
restriction
everybody-
in AC
Oh,
coils?
look at Jay. Oh, he's pulling that up there. I was wondering how he was going to get that tractor up there. Those transmissions really aren't designed for an angle like that.
Oh, he's got a hoist. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Electric hoist.
that's the way to
I
do
used,
it.
I used to have ramps like that. I threw them away.
I don't know. I've seen too many people drive up those and flip backwards.
Oh yeah.
I always tell my customers to back up the ramps.
How's everybody doing today?
Good, thank you.
I don't know. We had a good first hour with Mr. Pate there, and all it was that little what do you call that switch, Hank? That reverse switch in the middle for it.
Reverse switch.
Yeah.
We call it the stupid switch.
Yeah,
Is that the one that won't let you mow in reverse?
yeah.
Yeah.
And he jiggled it, and then the thing started fine.
I mean, and you get them on the key, right? You go, and then you reverse, and then all you have to do is do like this, and the rest of the day you can go in reverse. Nobody stops you. Stop
Yeah,
that,
but
stop
that's
that
the other
background
kind.
noise, someone, please.
That's the other kind.
It is.
Ah, okay.
You
Can
press
you-
Sounds like
you,
sounds like birds.
Kenny, can you stop that? Ah, thank you.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, this one here. Where is it? Hold on. Where am I? Where?
So there are two kinds, Hank. So there are two kinds.
Yes, there is.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that. That's that button.
Yeah, so you can mow. You hold it and you can mow in reverse.
So you
Well,
have
you
to
just
hold
have
it.
to depress it.
So the original ones you had to hold them. I think now you just push it.
Yeah, you just depress
Yeah,
it.
the original ones MTD you had to hold it in.
So did he just pull it out?
You know, it's
But-
weird though because it's a circuit board on there that attaches to that. It's that circuit board under the dash. It's like $100.
But it makes no sense. I mean, the ones I've seen is a key, right? You start it and it goes into
Some have
auto,
it with the key. Yeah, some have it
and
with
then you have to just put it back one turn.
Yeah,
And
but
you
it's like
can-
what Hank said. Some of them with the transmission switch on it, if it's either operated by that button or your key switch, depending.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you can put it in a position where you can mow backwards all day, nothing
Yeah,
happens.
yeah,
So what's the safety there?
yeah. Well, it's just that I guess a lot of
You're
pets
lying.
and children were getting
No,
hurt.
no. Don't get me wrong. I understand the concept of why it's there.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. You can put it in a position and then nothing is.
Well,
is
I think they
changed.
should all be momentary. So this way, if you're going backwards around a tree, then you have to hold it there. That's the way they should be.
Yeah, but what about the ones with a key? You just turn it
Well,
back
that's
and
what I'm saying. Those who care? I mean, why have it? Yeah.
yeah, it's stupid. And then again, I mean, if you're an adult and you run over your child or your dog or your cat or whatever, you're what Terrell says, a nope. You shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't be allowed to.
What's that? Knuckleheads operating power equipment.
Yeah.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I
do too.
think,
But
I think it's just another
There
ship
is-
that can go bad.
But for some reason on this one here, once he jiggled the wiggle, that was it.
I know. I'm still not happy with the jiggling.
Jason,
Yeah.
Jason jiggles something, and now
No,
it
but,
works.
but look what TGM said. He's right though. Usually they'll just cut the spark, and it shouldn't have anything to do with the starting unless cutting the spark is going into the. And we showed that the grounds were good on the solenoid. So I don't know. Is that what it was, or did he do something that we just don't know what he did? You know what I
He
mean?
had it in between reverse and forward.
Maybe.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
but
making
reverse and
contact.
forward is the pedal though.
I gotta
Yeah,
go
but
get a sandwich.
it wasn't making contact. It was in between.
Yeah.
I had one in yesterday that was that would go along with the nope thing. There was a guy brought in a Husqvarna 570 BTS backpack, big time blower. Now we had repaired that for him last year. Had to put a whole new carb on it. Said it ran fine, ran good. He'd been using it all year. Pulled it out the other day, couldn't get it started. I took it back there and checked the fuel. First thing I checked. I don't know what kind of fuel it was, but it did not smell like gas, nor did it smell like Moto Mix. Long story short, pumped all that old crap out of there, put my stuff in it, 2 pulls, fired up.
We get that all the time, Brett.
And then I had another guy bring in a little Troy-built mini tiller, 2-stroke. I guess he bought it at a pawn shop. He let his neighbor borrow it. Brings it in, no start. Drained that out. There was so much 2-stroke oil in that gas, you couldn't see through it. If you shone a light through it, it was like looking through the like a number 10 or number 11 welding glass. I don't know. It was that dark. I mean, it was just put my stuff in it. It ran good, and called the guy up and said it's ready for you. He said, "What was wrong?" I said, "That fuel." He said, "Oh, I let my neighbor borrow it." I said, "Well, what I would do is not let him borrow it and hand the neighbor your repair bill that you us for fixing it." He said, "That's what I'm going to do."
Jungle Bob, how you doing? Long time no hear.
Yeah. Long time no see.
Yeah.
Get the drift. Come on up. Yeah. Oh, man.
Boy,
And
everybody got their microphones off. Bruce got his off. Pate got his off.
I mean, Hank, you and I must be so boring. It's not even funny.
Gotta be.
No, in my little workshop, once that troublesome with a belt, front mounted rider, whatever they call it, left. 3 hours later, another one came in. No start. Well, it started. It would run for 4 minutes and then start running rich and cut out and die. So I'm doing a video on it right now. It's I don't know. It's when I was thinking about it, it starts up fine and it runs fine, great. And then after 4 or 5 minutes running, it starts running like it's on choke, and the RPMs will go down, and if you leave it alone, it'll just die.
What kind of motor on that, Klaus?
That's the Briggs Intech single cylinder.
Briggs checks.
Intech.
Now,
yeah.
what kind was the one that had the belt issue?
That was actually the same type of mower, but also a Husqvarna, yeah. Also a Briggs engine. But and you guys know this. Yeah, I'm preaching to the choir here, but you guys know this. Diagnosing rich running problems is a heck of a lot more difficult than lean running problems. So what do you think it is? I mean, you start it up from cold. It starts fine. It starts immediately fine. It runs on choke. You take it off choke. It runs fine. It doesn't make any weird sounds at all. Takes about 4 or 5 minutes, and then it starts hunting. And not hunting. It starts choking. It starts spewing out black fumes. It starts
Stuttering.
and then if you leave it, it just suddenly all of a sudden just dies, and then it will not restart.
What if that ain't a valve?
Car.
Well, I thought when I started applying my limited brain, I thought, hey, we got a valve issue. Once it heats up, it's bad. That or a coil that goes bad.
Okay, the last one I had like that close, I had so much blow by going past the valve guides that it took that long for the engine to pressure up and then puke smoke into the carburetor and stall the engine.
And that's what I thought, because if you have a blown head gasket, it'll do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll start. Or if you have a worn cylinder,
Excuse me, guys.
Enjoy, Bruce. It'll start blowing pressure into the crankcase. But once it died, I lifted up the oil dipstick, and there was no vapor coming out.
Oh.
Nothing. Welcome to
that
the world.
Got a fuel pump?
Yeah, it's got a fuel pump.
I wonder if that. I'm kind of wondering if maybe that needle and seat might be just letting enough by that it's. I mean, it could be not sealing just so.
Brett, I think you're wondering is exactly what happened.
Because think about it. If that motor is sitting, that's not gravity fed.
Hey, I get the logic.
The hose is collapsed.
Yeah, yep. I put another carburetor on aftermarket. Thing just fired up, ran like nothing happened. So it's one of those things. But before that, I adjusted the valves first because in my diagnostic mind, it could have been a really loose valve that once it got hot, it got really bad, and it wouldn't clear the combustion chamber. So I set the valves, and yeah, I mean the exhaust valve was fairly loose, but the thing is from 2010, and it's never been off. It still had the original goo from the factory on the cover. So I thought I got it. That's it. Started it up, no joy. It was still the same. I think, Brett, like you said, it was a leaky valve, needle and seat that pushed fuel through. But I will say, when I tested it, I took the air filter off, and I could see vapor coming out. So I thought, leaky valve. I mean, what else is there? When there's stuff coming out of the intake, it must be leaky valve. So I set the valves, but it wasn't the valves; it was the carburetor. And I think this is what makes it so much fun for me to do these things, because it is so frustrating. But once you get it and you haven't expended a lot of money on it, joy. Yeah, exactly, Bruce. It's I gotcha. But
that's why I still do it.
I mean, people
not as many as I was doing though, guys.
No, but I mean, running rich issues has always been the hardest ones, because it can be anything. It can be a bad coil, it can be a bad plug, it can be anything. But this time it was the Nicky. It was actually a Nicky without a solenoid carb, and I put an aftermarket one on. It ran great. So now I'm going to order an OEM and put on, because I'm not putting an aftermarket on and letting it out the door. So, but still,
can you put a Walbro on there instead of a Nicky?
Well, if you want to buy a Walbro, you have to buy it through Briggs, and for some reason unknown to me, they don't deliver a Walbro anymore. I think there's bad blood between Walbro and Briggs.
You might think so.
I mean, if you have the model with the solenoid for the Walbro is more expensive than a brand new Nicky carburetor, complete.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, John.
Hey, how are y'all?
I thought you were all busy and doing this and doing that.
Well, I am, but I took time out of my busy, hectic schedule. Joining y'all for a few minutes.
We appreciate that.
Are my fans too loud? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I sent you a note last week, John, to see if you lived through that hurricane that went right through you guys.
You sent me a note.
Yeah, I think it was.
Never got it.
It was on last week's stream, I think.
Never did. Oh, never did get it. Well, yeah, I think I did get it. I said everything went fine. We just got some rain and some wind and a lot of yard work afterwards. Limbs and
typical hurricane. Eh?
Oh yeah, and we got another one coming into the Gulf. That Lisa is going on a cruise. Her and her sister are going to go on like a 4-day cruise next week. And the depression that's out there is supposed to be in either a category 1 or 3 hurricane about the time they are supposed to get on the boat. And it's going to be right there close to New Orleans.
How are Lisa's sea legs? Because that might get a little...
she loves it, man. We've been through storms before on a boat.
Okay.
It's not
I don't do very well.
Me neither. If you say boat, I start.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I get seasick watching TV.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I can fly. I can fly though.
Now, when I worked offshore when I was 19 and 20, that was my first time to ever be on the ocean. And during the winter, the seas are real bad. And you're down on a workboat loading drill pipe. And I was so worried about getting sick. Never did. Just up and down, waves crashing over, soaking you from head to toe.
Sky water.
Sky water. That's it. Exactly. Yeah. So how are y'all doing?
Excellent.
Good.
We actually helped Jason fix something. He's going to send us all $500, I think.
Yeah. Well, I was watching. Do I get like $250?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wait. I dragged you guys out of the retirement home for this. It wasn't for me. All of you guys would still be in your room.
Well, if it wasn't for them, you'd still be working on that till retirement.
But see, the thing is,
we all use things you've never thought before.
We all burned off our brain trust.
Treachery and meanness will always outdo youth and inexperience.
And Hank took us on the inside and came up with the solution. You know, that's all.
Yes. Treachery.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
treachery.
Before I forget, I can't see chat. So if anybody's saying hey back to you, I just can't see.
No, there's nobody saying hi.
Am I shooting the bird? I'm more accustomed to that.
No, GGM, no fuel in the sump. No, nothing like that. No. Sorry, that was reply to my other issue with it. Yeah. So yeah, no, it was a bad call. It was a bad call. Just like Brett said, it was a bad call.
Yeah. Well, I got the go-kart motor going.
All right.
Those Nickies kind of famous for being kind of fiddly to start with, as Stella would say.
Yep.
Yep, I replace them with Warboros. As soon as I have a bad Nicky, I won't even bother. Warboro goes right on. No, thank you. That a Warboro is exactly the way a carp should be. And Nicky is like it's overly complicated for no apparent reason.
I mean, I'll work on the Nicky. Don't get me wrong. It's a little fiddly, yes, but I'll work on it. But
on our date today.
The problem is that the repair kit for a Nicky
Danny's coming.
It's over half the cost of a new carburetor Nicky.
Right.
And there's only a 50% chance you'll get it working.
So Klaus, even though I suggested the Walbro, pardon me, I always give the Nicky a good workout first.
Yeah, because I mean, first of all, you cannot get an OEM Walbro. It doesn't exist anymore. You can get parts for it, but you can't get it. Right. I mean, Walbro doesn't make it for brakes anymore. You can get an aftermarket Walbro, which is the one I have on now, and it runs it fine. And I'll call the guy.
Yeah, Danny's just coming real quick.
Now, I think Brett would know this. Brett, can you get the seat replacement kit still for that Walbro where you can suck the brass seat out and put the new seat back in?
Oh yeah,
that's a nice trick.
You know, I'm not really sure on that because generally, if we see a Nicky, we don't even fool with it. Because I have tried to rebuild many a Nicky and never had any luck. So if we ever get something in with a Nicky, now mind you, we don't do riding mowers down there, but I've seen that Nicky on
flail mowers
and stuff with a little bit bigger engine than a push mower. Mostly generators, and if we see a Nicky,
this is an intake
we just replace it.
About 14 horse, something like that, single cylinder. There's no drama on that, but yeah, it's how those carburetors can throw you off in terms of diagnostic is just what makes it fun for me. I mean, I love it.
So I'm going to speak up. Last week, I had that interesting problem with all of the molten aluminum in the intake valve.
Yeah.
You guys remember that? So I took my Dremel and my quarter-inch die grinder, and I ground all that aluminum out of there. And I ground all that aluminum out of there, making it beautiful, and nothing changed. In fact, I think I made it a little bit worse. And it would just, like you just said, Klaus, would pressure up and quit.
Yeah.
The crankcase would pressure up and quit.
Yeah.
So it's now in the recycle bin.
Yeah, and that's either blow by or if it's an overhead valve, it's a leaky head.
I could feel the pressure on the little tube that comes out of the valve chamber.
Yeah.
I could feel that blowing on oil on my hand.
Yeah. And that's blow by. I mean, new rings may reduce it.
No, it was maybe it was coming right out of the valve chamber though.
Yeah, but that's where your overpressure go.
I did a leak down test on it and it measured at 2%. Good. So the rings should.
So
that's oil. That's not oil rings though.
No. Was that an overhead?
No, it was a flathead.
Huh.
So it had me going.
I tell you what, I guarantee you have a spot in the cylinder. You have a scratch in the cylinder halfway down.
Right.
And when you did your leak down, it was on the tight side.
Yeah, 2 degrees past. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had run it down, say at the bottom, I guarantee you've gotten a leak.
Yeah.
So you got to scratch.
Well, you're smarter than you look, Close.
Thank you very much, sir. I think.
I had one come in yesterday. It was
Fire
a
break.
Pulsar. I think that's how you say that, Pulsar. Cheap Chinese. Well, the guy said that he put a new blade on it, and he said it wouldn't cut right. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll get under here, see what's going on. They tried using a lawnmower blade from like a Toro. Wouldn't fit the adapter right. And I thought, well, I'm in here, I'm going to check it for a bent shaft. Well, sure as shooting, not only was it the wrong blade, but the shaft was bent. It messed up the blade adapter. Called him up and I said, well, I checked out your mower. He says, what's the issue? I said, you got a bent shaft.
You hit
You
something.
had the blade on upside down to start with, and I said, you got a bent shaft.
Yeah, they sell those around here at BJ's. They're pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So BJ
Hey, John.
cheap.
John,
This
sit
was,
back a
Yeah.
little bit. You're scaring Tom Dobie's dog.
this
I
was
am
even
so
this was
sorry.
even a self-compelled too.
He's up close because he's
Let's
using
see.
his phone.
I picture Tom having a little ankle biter dog with Chihuahua. Whole time.
Those are the meanest dogs in the world.
Let me see if I
Terrier.
can move this back. Hold on.
That's okay.
Is that better?
Those little buggers will pull your pants right off you.
Yeah.
Yeah, pound for pound. If there was a big dog, holy
Yeah.
smokes.
Well,
When I was a kid, I was delivering newspapers, and I went this little dog, yipper, snipper, freaking dog. You know, I didn't probably have the most expensive pants on because we didn't have a lot of money. The little bugger ripped my pants right up to the pockets.
I used to, if I had one wouldn't leave me alone, I'd field goal it.
Bottom line of it is,
What
the guy
Tom
didn't
say?
want to spend the money, so we ended up with the mower.
Cool.
So if I can find me a long shaft Briggs 7/8 diameter shaft, I'm going to pop that baby on there and be done with it.
Those bend easy because there's a lot more torque on them.
Yep. If I can find a 7/8 shaft by 3.5 or whatever that length is, I'll do that. And then as far as around that stupid blade adapter that the Pulsar uses, I'll convert it to use an MTD adapter.
Exactly. As long as the space on the metal in the adapter is the same.
Yeah, it was a shallow adapter.
Oh, okay.
I thought I had an agreement with the spiders.
What's happening?
That they would take the mosquitoes, but no. Goddamn mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes. Good.
We haven't had many this year.
We had, and they bite.
About the size of blue jays down here.
Yeah. You guys have magpies down there?
Yeah, you see that?
They're noisier
Wish
than
we
a blue
did.
jay. They're noisier
you
than a
want me
blue jay.
to-
Believe me.
Really?
You think it's covered
They're
on
cool
the you don't give
looking,
it you just
Can you mute Jason, will you?
Okay. Who is it?
Jason.
Okay. So whatever that is, all right.
Corned beef and cabbage. All right.
Well, it's my anniversary tomorrow, and she didn't know what to do. She goes, "Why don't I make you 34 years?" So
All
he said,
right.
"I'll make you corned beef and cabbage." So, but I'm the only one going over. My wife's in a shower, and my son's going to some rock concert, so it's just me.
Who's still making noise?
Oh, happy
Yeah,
34th
something is making
anniversary,
noise.
Is that Robert? Or is that Hank having a snack?
Nope. I get that.
No snacks. No snacks.
Let me see your
Ken.
hands.
That's not big dog this
Oh,
time.
Hester.
And they're all Cheeto yellow, but no snacks.
No. I just checked the pre-fill
Ooh, that's a
equipment.
bad mic there, Robert. That's a bad mic there, Robert.
Yeah.
You're aching over place.
Luke, you're not helping.
No doubt. Troublemaker.
Here I am.
Yeah, I am.
Rock you like a. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the last song I heard before I left work a little
Don't
while
say
ago.
hurricane, please. Lisa needs
No,
this
I'm
trip.
sorry, John. Bad joke, but
Oh,
no,
it's
that
okay.
was the last song I heard before I left the shop.
Yeah.
I was a freshman in high school when that song came out.
They
Yeah.
had schools back then?
What's that, Bruce?
Nah.
Did they have schools back then?
Yeah, they had the one room ones. You know, they had no air conditioner or anything.
I
Just
do.
one room. Looked like a porta john almost, a little bit bigger.
I went 10 years in elementary school in an old monastery that was part of a church from 1617.
Did you hear that, John? He
I
went 10 years.
guarantee.
He went for 10 years to an elementary school.
Uh-huh.
How many grades were you held
Isn't
back there, Klaus?
isn't elementary the first 10 years, Bruce?
6.
First 6 grades.
Oh,
First 6 grades.
What
okay.
was that old joke? The guy goes into the toilet and he's standing next to the other boy, and then he goes home and he goes, "Mommy, mommy." He goes, "Why do I have hair on my chest? No other kids do it." She looks at him and he goes, "Mommy, mommy, why do I have bigger arms and legs than the other kids?" And he goes, "That because I'm in 4th grade." She goes, "No, it's because you're 18."
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Take care, everybody.
We'll see you later, guys.
Bye bye.
Take
All
care.
right.
Good
Take
seeing
care.
y'all. Take care.
Yeah.